All that I have written seems like straw to me. These are the shocking words of a saint after a divine encounter that changed everything. What did he see that made his life's work feel so small? This is the story of Saint Thomas Aquinas, the towering intellect of the Church. But beyond his vast writings lies a profound mystical encounter before the Eucharist, a moment that reshaped his soul. In this video, we'll explore what happened, its meaning for his theology, and what it invites us to believe today. We often picture Saint Thomas Aquinas frozen in time, a stern scholar bent over ancient texts. But the man behind the Summa Theologica was far more complex. Historical accounts describe him as a deeply prayerful Dominican friar whose massive intellectual work sprang from a life of faith and devotion. He wasn't just thinking about God. He was in a constant conversation with him through prayer, especially before the Blessed Sacrament. Born into nobility, he chose a life of poverty and study. His peers reportedly knew him not only for his sharp mind, but for his profound humility and moments of deep absorption during Massachusetts. This is the crucial first layer. Thomas Aquinas was a mystic at heart. His journey wasn't just an academic pursuit. It was a search for union with the divine. Before the event in Naples, he had already spent decades weaving a majestic tapestry of thought to explain Catholic doctrine. Yet, those who knew him suggest a holy restlessness, a sense that even the most perfect human understanding was just a shadow of the reality it tried to describe. He stood as a giant of the intellect, yet on his knees, he remained a humble son of the Church, yearning for something or someone beyond the page. And it was in moments of silent prayer like this, within a monastery in Naples, that something extraordinary was poised to occur. The stage for this transformative moment was a Dominican priory in Naples in the year 1273. Saint Thomas Aquinas was nearing the end of his life, and his monumental work. Many sources set the scene during or just after the celebration of Massachusetts. It was a time of deep personal prayer for Aquinas. He is said to have remained long after the liturgy, immersed in prayer before the tabernacle. The atmosphere was one of profound silence and reverence. We can imagine the flickering light of the sanctuary lamp, the scent of incense still lingering in the air. He wasn't preparing a lecture or drafting an argument. He was simply present in adoration, according to traditional narratives. He had been grappling with a particularly difficult point of theology. Some accounts say he was praying for guidance, for a sign to confirm the truths he was defending about the Eucharist. His physical body was weary from a life of study and travel, but his spirit was alert, waiting. It was in this state of complete openness, a mind brilliant yet humble, a heart full of faith yet yearning for deeper certainty, that the ordinary surroundings of the chapel faded into the background. Everything was poised for an encounter that would bypass the intellect and speak directly to the soul. In the atmosphere of profound reverence, as his eyes of faith rested upon the host, the veil between earth and heaven seemed to grow thin. Then, in a moment that defies ordinary description, the encounter occurred. As Thomas gazed upon the consecrated host, the simple bread that faith declares is the body of Christ, something extraordinary is reported to have taken place. Multiple ancient biographies relate that he was granted a divine vision. The sacred host no longer appeared as bread alone. Instead, it is described as becoming a window or a source of radiant, unearthly glory. What he saw, according to these accounts, was a living Christ in splendor or a glimpse of the heavenly realm itself. The language used is of overwhelming light, beauty, and presence. It was not a physical change visible to others in the chapel, but a supernatural communication granted to his spirit. The experience was so intense, so far beyond human categories, that words inevitably fail. The vision served as a direct, personal confirmation of the very reality he had written about so meticulously, that in the Eucharist, Jesus Christ is truly and wholly present. This was no longer a matter of doctrine to be debated, but a reality to be beheld. The love and majesty he perceived in that instant struck him with a force that mere argument never could. So, what is the reaction of a great mind confronted by a greater revelation? Not a new argument, but a speechless, emotional silence. The impact was immediate and visible. Those present with him, fellow friars or altar servers, are said to have witnessed not the vision itself, but its profound effect on the saint. They observe him trembling, overcome with emotion, tears streaming down his face. Some accounts mention he was found in a state of ecstasy, so deeply absorbed that he seemed unaware of his surroundings. The weight of divine glory was more than his human frame could easily bear. When he finally returned to his ordinary senses, he was a changed man. Soon after, he made the stunning decision to completely cease writing his life's great work, the Summa Theologica, to his secretary, who urged him to continue. Aquinas gave his famous reply, as recorded by his early biographers: "All that I have written seems like straw to me compared to what has now been revealed to me." The phrase, like straw, speaks volumes. It signifies something dry, insubstantial, fleeting when set next to the living, vibrant reality he had encountered. His theological masterpiece, the pinnacle of medieval thought, was not false. It was simply incomparable to the direct experience of God's presence. The encounter had reordered his entire universe of value. But the story does not end with one man's confession. It opens into a timeless meaning for him and for us. So, what does this centuries-old story mean for us? It operates on two powerful levels. First, for Thomas himself, many believers and scholars perceive this event as a divine seal of approval on his life's work, particularly his Eucharistic theology. It was as if God was saying, "Your words about me are true, now see for yourself." His teachings were validated not by more logic, but by loving revelation. Second, and more importantly for us today, the story is a timeless invitation. It challenges a reduction of faith to mere ideas or rituals. The Eucharist, this miracle reminds us, is not a symbol of Christ's presence, but its very embodiment. Aquinas' vision, though extraordinary, points to an ordinary, astounding truth available in every Mass, that under the appearances of bread and wine, heaven touches earth. His experience calls us beyond a routine reception of the host to a deeper, more awe-filled recognition of who it is we receive. It encourages a prayerful, expectant faith, the kind that, while we may not see visions, truly believes it is encountering the living God. In that sense, every communicant is invited into the same reality that overwhelmed the great saint. So, from the story of a 13th century saint, what can we take for our own journey of faith today? The story of Saint Thomas Aquinas and the Eucharistic vision is more than a medieval account. It's a mirror held up to our own faith. Research from diverse historical and devotional sources consistently points to one core truth. This event marked a pivotal moment where profound intellect met overwhelming divine presence. What many believers see in this narrative is not a dismissal of reason, but its fulfillment in an encounter that transcends it. The unanimous testimony of tradition tells us that Aquinas' experience became a powerful, personal confirmation of the very reality he dedicated his life to understanding: the real presence of Christ in the Eucharist. The punchline, then, is this: faith is not merely about comprehending mysteries with the mind, but about being open to being touched by them with the heart. Aquinas' journey invites us to move from knowledge about God to a humble, awe-filled encounter with him, especially in the simple yet infinite mystery of the Blessed Sacrament. His silence after the vision speaks louder than volumes. Sometimes the deepest truth is not written but received. If this exploration of faith and mystery resonated with you, here's how you can join this continuing conversation. First, consider subscribing to the channel. It's the best way to ensure you don't miss our future journeys into the heart of Catholic tradition. Second, if this video brought you insight or inspiration, a like really helps others discover this content. Third, please feel free to share your own thoughts or reflections in the comments below. Your perspective enriches our community. And finally, sharing this video with a friend or family member could be the start of a meaningful discussion about the things that matter most. Thank you for your time and attention. May you carry a sense of peace and wonder with you today.